Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Whether you're in need of a website, domain or online store, make your next move with Squarespace. Another week, another music video. Well, actually, 2 this week. It's been really refreshing to be making so much work which is outside of my normal photography, which I guess is what I'm known for. And this first video was definitely the most ambitious practical video we've worked on. And I don't mean ambitious in terms of like being technically hard to achieve. I guess I more so mean I feel like it's high risk, high reward, you know? It's either going to be absolutely incredible or awful, and not really anything in between. So the video is for a musician called Fredwave, who I've actually known for around 6 years. And we're basically just going to be strapping a GoPro to each of his limbs, one on each wrist and one on each of his shoes. And this is going to be displayed on video as 4 different tiles, you know, like split screen video feeds of each limb. And the video is basically about the relationship of motion between like the different extremities of your body. We planned it out to be like a day in the life, kind of going ahead and just doing some random tasks and seeing how this would be displayed through these really strange camera angles. One of the things I was most happy with as an idea was to be shooting cycling, because this isolates 2 of your limbs. You've got those arms that are kind of like more static and provide a good way to then be able to perform into them, whereas your legs are still kind of doing that motion that's very like cyclical. I mean, it is a cycle. And to be honest, this shoot went fairly wrong. Not much could have gone worse. Things got lost, things got broken, and I guess this is where like the true skill is, you know, learning how to adapt and make things work and get by is one of the best skills to have, and I'm pretty sure we got away with it. And then on the weekend we had a 2-day shoot for Christian Alexander. More early crack of dawn starts and late nights. I'm actually finding shooting in summer to be quite annoying at the moment, which is something I didn't really foresee happening, because when you want to shoot at sunrise and then some scenes at night, it means getting up really early and having to stay up really late. Like, we couldn't start shooting the night segments until like 10 o'clock. And that's just like super impractical when you have to start shooting at 6 a.m. So definitely long hours this weekend. The video is basically aiming to take inspiration from the late 90s and early 2000s and to make this kind of normal performance music video. And we wanted to pay homage to these kind of like stylistic tropes of the time period, but without using something that would make it easy, without using like VHS or something which kind of imitates nostalgia. We wanted to do it in a modern way, but just paying homage. We basically just shot like 9 different performance compositions, and we're going to cut them all together. And it's simple, I guess. It's just like something simple done right. Do you feel sick?
A little bit, yeah.
And I actually think this video is going to be really awesome. I'm really happy with it. I think it's probably the best video project we've done so far. And it definitely feels like a merge of like my photo style in video format, which is something I've been working on for a while. But I feel like when you're watching this, it does feel like photography that's breathing. And yeah, I'm really happy. How do you feel about your first experience as a Snorricam user?
A little bit violated. That's basically it.
Good. There is like one huge issue about filming these videos as a kind of like diary, and that's that a lot of what I'm working on doesn't come out the same week which I'm shooting it. So unfortunately, like, I can only show you behind the scenes of this stuff, but I will of course update you as soon as they do come out and include that in the future videos. But for now, this is what we're going to have to deal with. I think it's time. I think the mullet's run its course, and I'm just going to shave my head again. It's a lot of upkeep, it's pretty long, it's a new era, you know, a new chapter. I don't know what this chapter is yet, but yeah. I feel like it's only right to kind of document my last stage of mullet with a little self-portrait. I do actually really want to have like an interesting cut. I feel like I need to think of the next, not just a shaved head, something visionary, but at the moment, got nothing. So yeah, I guess I didn't get rid of the mullet in its entirety. It's kind of an interim, I guess. A little baby mullet back for now. But I think I did come up with a good idea for the next haircut, which I guess might happen in a couple of weeks. Pretty much for the last couple of days, I've just been sat here editing. I've been working on the video for Christian, and Elliot's been working on the one for Fredwave. Just been splitting it up to make it more efficient. But what we are going to do now is hop on Discord and do a little screen share edit session. Since we don't have like a studio together yet, this is the way that we work. Actually, it was the way we made the entirety of the Brockhampton project. We hadn't even met in person yet. We just sat on Discord and edited together whilst sharing screens. It kind of gets the job done, but it's a lot easier to be in the same room as someone. So 2 quick things. Firstly, I now own a GoPro from this video shoot. Very fun. The other thing is that I just took some photos. I've still been carrying around my Minolta TC1 and taking photos along the way. And I've just finished up that roll of Lomo Colour 400. Thankfully the last one of the box of 3, because this, I don't know, my exposures have been all over the place and nothing's looked that amazing with this film. Not going to buy it again. I think I'm going to go back to Kodak Gold. Something that I've come very to terms with as I've grown up and matured is doing stuff by myself. It started when, like, travelling for work and not wanting to stay inside your hotel room at any down point you have and forcing myself to go out and eat at restaurants by myself. That's fine. I'm into it. I quite like that. Going to the cinema now, love going by myself. You don't actually really miss out on anything, you know. All you miss out is the conversation afterwards, because at the cinema, you're watching the whole thing in silence anyway. You just miss that bit of conversation, which is, of course, like a really great aspect. But I think there is something to be said about enjoying your own company and just going off and doing things. And this week, I went to the football myself. I went to go see Tottenham play against this random Portuguese side, and I've got no regrets going by myself. I had a good time. Why am I telling you this? I don't know, but I did take a couple of photos on my TC1. Yeah, I don't know, I just want to tell you, like, go and see an exhibition by yourself, or go and do something. It's not weird. No one's going to judge you. Hello and welcome to Bar Me Boys episode 2. I'm afraid the series I think is going to be pretty short-lived, because I think I've peaked. I think I've found it. The best one. It's at Hackney Central. Can't remember the name of the place, but very good. We're on the way there now. So I went with tofu today. Wild choice. I'm not actually vegetarian, but I was just feeling it. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. The tofu, the sauce, and like just the flavours are top notch. Unbeatable. The bread, perfect. Perfectly crisp, but like flaky and soft still, like not dry. The one thing I'm going to dock points for, it could have just been like twice as much salad, you know? One thing I really like about a banh mi is like how much like carrot and cucumber you can get in it to like feel fresh still, whereas this one was a bit like one whole slice of cucumber and a tiny bit of carrot. That's all that's holding it back. Just like a couple more bits of veg, and this would be a 10 out of 10. What's really amazing is that it's literally one guy in that shop. It's such a sparse production. You do end up waiting for quite a long time, but it's 100% worth it. He really knows what he's doing. And finally, I'd like to thank Squarespace again for sponsoring this video. If you're looking to build a new website, whether you just want to purchase a domain, maybe start a blog, a website, an online store, a portfolio for your photography, or anything else, Squarespace is the perfect place to do all of this and more. Squarespace is an amazing all-in-one platform for building websites. There's an amazing variety of different themes to get you started, and you definitely don't need any prior web building experience to build a really professional looking website. It really is all just dragging and dropping. You don't need to learn any coding or anything complicated. It's great. And if you did happen to come into any trouble, there is amazing 24/7 customer support. In this day and age, having a website is incredibly important. You need to have your own little corner of the internet to call your own and display your work in the best way possible. Whether this is for your business, or I'm guessing if you're watching this, maybe you're a creative person of some kind and you need a portfolio for your work. Squarespace is the perfect place to do this, because you don't need to spend much time faffing around with how to build a website. It's so simple, yet so polished and professional. And this means you spend less time building websites and more time out there making the work to populate it with, which in my opinion is a huge win. So if you're looking to build yourself a new website today, you can use the link in the description or use my code negative feedback to get 10% off your order. So what are you waiting for? Go and get yourself a lovely new website today. And thank you very much for watching. Next video will probably be in 2 weeks, I can't lie. Might take a little bit longer than 1 week. Don't have much interesting things planned for the next week, to be honest. Might just rest a bit.